Have you heard financial gurus tell you that you shouldn't have a car loan? You should stop going out, getting your Starbucks, your coffee, whatever it is, until you've paid off all your debt. You shouldn't do all of these things. And it just felt icky, as shame created. We're going to talk today about why that advice is not serving you and what you should do instead. So, if you've avoided your finances or avoided these things because you don't want to have to cut it all out, this episode is for you. Welcome back to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. I'm your host, Amy Circa. We are talking today about why the idea that you should cut all frivolous spending, you shouldn't have a car loan, you should pay cash for cars, you shouldn't eat out, you shouldn't do those things is too extreme and why it's not serving you if you are buying into this mindset. Okay? There are a lot of gurus out there that'll tell you that you shouldn't be eating out, you shouldn't do all this. If you are in debt, you should be throwing everything to your debt. And what's wrong with you? You shouldn't, no spend challenges, all of that. And the problem is that is extreme as hell. Like it's very extreme, right? And it feels so out of reach. It feels impossible. Sure, it's a smart idea for a lot of people to pay cash for a car. If you're a business owner and in the US though, you can leverage your car payment and at least be deducting your insurance and all of those things. Get with your CPA, but there's leveraged ways to do that. So I don't even know that everybody should pay cash for a car, but sure, it's a great idea to not pay interest. That is a smart thing, right? Smart idea to not paying interest to other people. Not disagreeing with that. But the way that we go about it, that's the goal here. That's the key. Because when we go into, we'll use a no spend challenge as an example, because that's a lot of what people are talking about. Like cut it all out, not going out to eat, not doing those things. No coffee, whatever it is, right? Cutting it all out so that you can get a handle on your finances. Have you ever gone on a diet before? And, the whole time that you're on the diet, you're doing good. You're making the choices, avoiding the chocolate chip cookie. But you're thinking about the chocolate chip cookie or the chocolate cake or whatever it is the whole time you're on the diet, right? So you hit the goal, diet kind of ends, and then what happens? You finally get the chocolate chip cookie, right? You finally get the chocolate cake, whatever it was. And over time, you gain all the weight back that you lost and then a little bit more. They call it yo-yo dieting. Because it's not sustainable. We yo-yo. You do the same thing with your finances when you go all extreme and hardcore like that. So if you do a no spend challenge and you do those things and you're doing great for a while and you've cut everything out and you're paying off debt and you're doing that, we end up that we get back into debt again and then a little bit more. So we'll say, it's been proven. So even if you were successful, because most people can't stick with this hardcore debt payoff focus, we're not going to spend anything. So if you're successful with paying off all your debt, and this has been your focus the whole time is paying off debt, paying off debt, paying off debt. If you're successful, it's been proven within 5 years, 75% of people are back into debt again because we have sat there and programmed our subconscious to get out of debt, get out of debt, get out of debt. So what are you focusing on the whole time? Debt. So you're still focusing on that afterwards, and we end up that we get back into debt. There's a really simple switch though. It's so seamless. We focus on our net worth instead. That's our true financial picture of where we're at. As you pay off debt, your net worth improves. As you sit there and grow your business and increase cash flow and gain assets, your net worth improves. It's the true financial picture with where you're at. And we start small. So we're not focused on we have to pay off debt. That's not the goal. The goal is the positive thing that we're working on, and then we can pay off the debt as a byproduct. But we start small. So maybe instead of going out and getting, if you're wanting to cut like this, okay, let's back up a little bit. There are times to cut expenses, yes, and you want to have a focus where you cut expenses down. But we still need to have that positive money association, that play account is the way that we teach this. within your budget. And it makes it really seamless because when you have a budget like that, because you can know where you're at. You're not just trying to do this from the mind chatter that's showing up. You have the play account. So maybe there's times where you're focusing on something else, whether it's paying off debt, whether it's saving for a vacation, maybe it's saving for a new property, whatever it might be, where you want to trim down the play account a little bit and not spend as much money there right now. That's okay, because we're not going extreme. We start small. A lot of times I'll see this show up about, I don't know how we could cut expenses. We're stuck in this way. There's nothing that can change. And we can't see the possibility. We can't see a way out. So if we went to, you need to pay cash for a car, and I can't figure out how to pay off the one I've got, how could I even have the cash flow that I needed to buy a car? Like, that's too big of a jump for you to be able to feel like it's possible. And we have to look at the possibility. And the way that we do this is, again, a lot of the coaching that we do is asking questions to help you see why. What's the possibility? Why are we doing these things? Why do you feel like you need to do this? And again, covering the emotions, we talked about that 2 weeks ago, like the shoulds that are showing up. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I should be paying cash for a car. Why do you feel like you need to pay cash for a car? Because gurus tell you to? Okay. Sure, maybe. But ask yourself why. Why is this the thing that you're wanting to do? Start small. Make a small change that's sustainable. So if you're going out and going to get a coffee, whatever, if this is what you want to cut, this is the example I'm using. This is not something that you have to do. I will never tell you that you have to cut these things. But if you're looking to make cuts in a sustainable way, this is the way to do it. How could you eliminate one coffee trip a week? Maybe you're taking the family out to eat a couple times a week. How could you eliminate one? That would be go-to meals. We've done episodes on those before. It's part of the meal planning strategy. But we're overcomplicating it, and we're trying to go too extreme from societal pressure and things that we feel like that we should be doing. So we have to ask ourselves, why are you doing the things that you want to do? And if this is something that you actually want to do, what's the first step? We do this within our business because, we want a $10,000 months, right? When you're just starting out, I want $10,000 months. That is a big jump. What's the first step? The first $100, right? How could you achieve that? Oh, I want to launch a podcast, and we put launch a podcast on our to-do list. There's a lot of steps involved. Break it down. What's the first step? And again, asking ourselves why throughout all of this. Why are we doing the things that we want to do? Is this something that you actually want to do? Or is this something you feel like you should do? There are times and places to make cuts within your budget and get your spending under control and managing your spending. Yes, not disagreeing with that at all. But we can also subscribe to a lot of societal pressure. There's smart ways to look at that. And if you are thinking, I would love to make cuts, but there is no way that anything can be cut down, we're as tight as we can make it. You have to start looking at the possibility. How could this work? When you open your eyes to the possibility and ask yourself, how could this be possible? You will start to see the results show up for you. All right. We're removing the extreme. We have to cut it all. You have to pay cash for cars, no frivolous spending, because that doesn't freaking work. We are going to do this in an aligned way that feels good, that you are unstoppable because you're spending, but you're also spending from a way that, things that you want to actually spend money on. We're removing the shoulds that society tells us, or we feel society is telling us that we should do, right? Get rid of those. But look at what's the first small step that you can take. We're looking for the possibility. We're asking questions, asking the why questions, right? The Money Mindset Playbook is my free resource that goes through some of these key money mindset shifts that we make. And we used to be the money mindset mastery checklist, and it was a 10-step checklist, but we created it that it's really the playbook, because these are the things that you need to do. This is the playbook that we have, right? The shifts that we make long-term. It's not necessarily a checklist where it's one and done. This is your playbook. These are the things that you have to go back to reference. So when the societal pressure shows up, or somebody tells you should be cutting this, or you feel that show up, you know which shifts to make and what is in true alignment for you. It's also now available as a private podcast. Super excited for that. amycirca.com/mindset to grab that, or shoot me a message on Instagram that says mindset. We'll leave you with this. You don't have to cut it off. If you want to make cuts, fantastic. Do it with small, incremental, sustainable habits. Don't just cut it all and feel like you have to put all that pressure on yourself, because it's not sustainable and you're not going to see long-term results. We're going to make sustainable habits that feel aligned to you, not out of societal pressure, people telling you that you should do this, because a lot of that stuff doesn't work, right? We have to remove that pressure from yourselves and work out of alignment for you. So if you want to make cuts, if you want to cut down on spending, go for it. Asking yourself, how could it be possible? And making small, sustainable cuts so that you can move forward with confidence. That's what I've got for now. Stay tuned. Next week, I've got something that's dropping that I'm pretty excited about behind the scenes. We have a free audio summit that's going to launch, and there's going to be a couple topics that are going to share live on the podcast. Beyond the Numbers is what it is called. So if you're not already registered for that, we'll put that link in the show notes below as well. That's what I've got for now. We'll see you next time. Are you tired of not seeing consistent cash flow? What if you could stop wasting countless hours working on the wrong things only to leave yourself more frustrated than you started? All without jumping from strategy to strategy just to try to find one that works, and without requiring a week of reflection or a time audit, because you don't have time to do the things that you need to as it is. My cash flow calculator might be perfect for you. This assessment style calculator reveals your blind spots and what you're missing so that you can finally see consistent cash flow month after month. So grab my cash flow calculator absolutely free and unlock the right work that you're probably already doing in order to finally see consistent cash flow month after month. It's only going to take 90 seconds, and you don't need to know any of your numbers to actually do this. Then, as a bonus, there's a special way you can get me to give you feedback on your results. Simply go to amycirca.com/cashflow to access, and of course, that link is hanging out in the description for you.